Hello, everyone. It's Elisa from Moonstruck Vintage. For those of you joining me for the first time today, I own a brick and mortar vintage store in Cleveland, Ohio, in the Little Italy neighborhood. Sell primarily vintage clothing, items that are 20 years and older, and also some home decor and collectibles, as well as some local makers and small batch maker gift type items like candles and soaps. I've been there for 10 years and I'm just coming to you today because I have a little haul to share with you, from one particular owner. And I just thought it was such a sweet collection. I wanted to share it with you. And it has to do with 1950s women's cardigans. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the history of cardigans for those who might not know. And also, I wanted to share with you today a little visit I made to the Cleveland Museum of Art, which we are so fortunate. We have an amazing art museum here in Cleveland. And I went to see a very special exhibit today, and it was inspiring and fun and and light in certain ways in color, but not light in subject matter. So it was a really special time, and I just brought some video back for you to share with you because I'm always seeking inspiration for what I do, and I like to say current. Even though I love living in the vintage world, I love to see what's happening today in fashion and art and so on. So I'll share a little bit of those clips with you a little bit later. To start out with, I have an amazing little collection of vintage 1950s women's cardigan sweaters. Um, the owner of these items, well, actually, the niece of the owner of these items came to me. I'm not really buying at this time or taking any new merchandise because I have a lot of back stock, but I just simply could not pass up this collection. It's very special, and she was able to tell me that her aunt had attended a private school here in Cleveland in the 1950s called Hathaway Brown, and it was these are her sweaters from that time, and she took great care of them, and they were very special to her. She's had them all these years, and they were looking to rehome them, so I could not say no. So I can say no to a lot of things, but this I could not say no to. So I just wanted to share a few of them with you today. And these, I picked some, there's a pretty large collection. There was about maybe 15 of them altogether, but I've just selected a few lighter weight items um, that would be available, would be perfect to use today, like over the top of a little sundress or tank top. And I just, so the more winter weight ones I've saved, and I will do a later video on those, bring those out more in the fall. So, but these are just, they're really beautiful. And yeah, so I thought I'd share these with you today, this particular collection. And I think I have five altogether, six altogether. So first, a little history about cardigans, and I'm just going to be reading my notes here, so just bear with me for a minute. It says cardigan sweaters gained major popularity in the 1950s as part of the post-war fashion shift towards more relaxed yet polished clothing. Okay, so post-war, before that, it was kind of a fussy time. After that, people were just looking for real um, comfortable and well-made clothing, and that's where this all comes from. It was named after James Brudenell. No, Brudenell. Excuse me, James. He was the seventh Earl of Cardigan. He was a British Army officer in the 1800s. The style originally came from military wear, but evolved into a civilian staple. In the 1950s, cardigans became a key piece in both men's and women's wardrobes, but women's versions took on a distinctly soft, feminine twist. Those sweaters were often made from soft wool, cashmere, or orlon acrylic, and the ones I'm going to show you today are mostly all orlon acrylic, which might not sound as nice as the wool and cashmere, but they are actually absolutely beautiful, soft, and just made beautifully. And they're also very ornately detailed, usually with pearls or rhinestone buttons, or embellished with flowers and such. And all of these have a little bit of an embellishment as well. And they're worn, fitted and cropped. They're not the oversized grandpa cardigans that you see today. So they're intended to be very form-fitting, cropped to land just above your high-waisted pants or your skirt waistband. This particular era also saw the rise of a sweater set, which you might be familiar with, where there was a short sleeve or a tank, a matching piece that went underneath the cardigan. None of these have that. None of these are sets. They might have been at one time, but I only have the cardigan part. The cardigan represented more than just fashion. They symbolized that idealized femininity of the time, sweet, tidy, and graceful. However, they were also versatile and functional, making them a staple for women of all ages. Today, the sweaters are, very collectible because of the craftsmanship and the delicate work that they're embellished with. So they're just absolutely beautiful. So to start off with, I have this adorable little pink sweater, and you'll notice this has some rhinestones on it, and these embellished little flowers as well, little pearl buttons. And again, these are orlon. Now they're super soft and very thick. So they're not the orlon. They're not what you would think of in today's world of acrylics. These are very soft and very functional because they are washable. These in particular, this family was so caring and loving about these items. They had them all dry cleaned. As you can see, there's still a dry clean tag on there. This one has beautiful velvet ribbon detail. It's white with some pink and red, the florals. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. It even has the flower on the wrist as well. Now, very often you would see these just flung over the shoulder of somebody who might be wearing a sleeveless top. So they wouldn't even necessarily put their arms all the way in, but just flung over the shoulders. Sometimes they were worn as a blouse in and of itself. So in other words, not over anything, but just as a top. And sometimes you would see these little sweater clips, and you might have seen those out and about if you're a vintage shopper. So they would have a clip on either end and a chain or a pearl string, and they would clip them at the top of the sweater just to keep them held onto your shoulders. This particular one is navy blue with this really amazing little nautical applique. Beautiful red, white, and blue. This one doesn't have any buttons, so this would have been intended to be worn open. I suspect this might have had a little shell that went underneath of it that she wore. Now this particular one, another navy blue, but it was embroidered with her initials. She will remain anonymous, but absolutely beautiful. I mean, such an elegant display of a very unique detail. This is, I think this one might be my favorite. This has lace, but also has butterflies and a little bit of sparkle with the rhinestones. Now the rhinestones are prong set. They're not glued on. They are prong set and sewn on. So that's just an example of quality of the items of that time. Now all these tend to be around the same size. I would say they're a size small. They might, if you're smaller on top, they might actually fit a medium, but I would say they're probably around a small size. And lastly, this one, a little bit more simple. Again, in the pink, you'll see the pearl buttons and this beautiful trim work on it. These were commonly, and as I said, they were intended to be cropped and fitted. So, and ideally they went beautifully with like a circle skirt, just hit at the waist, or a high-waisted pair of peg pants, or a high-waisted set of shorts, a little skirt type setup where it looks like a little skirt, but it was actually a pair of shorts underneath, just full. So they were perfect for that. So imagine the same person, this being their part of their wardrobe, so specifically selected, a multitude of colors, but for every outfit. So just really super special. These are all going to be available in for sale in our store, but you can also reach out to me at any point if you're interested. I can give you a price. We also ship, and we're just happy to pass them on and rehome them with somebody who really appreciates them. Today, they would like super cool with a pair of jeans, some really nice, maybe espadrille heel for the summer over a really cute little tank top or a sleeveless blouse, or just on their own, on a cooler summer night. So let me know if you're interested or if you have any questions. I love a good cardigan, and I think it's something special from that time period. And I love the history behind it too. So now it's such a common part of our wardrobe, we don't even think about it. But it did originate at one point. It wasn't always part of a woman's wardrobe. So thanks for listening. If you stay with me in the video, I'll share a little bit of my visit to the Museum of Art. Thanks so much. Have a good day. So today we went and visited the Cleveland Museum of Art to see the Takashi Murakami exhibit. He's a Japanese artist. One of the things they did was built this amazing dream house in the middle of the atrium to exhibit some of his fine works. And you'll notice there's a lot of playfulness and color. I found it very inspiring, but also very deeply moving in many ways. There's so much to show and explain here. I wouldn't even start to try, but I really found it very inspirational. If you're local, I hope you get to visit.